Hey everybody, welcome back to Runaway Roses. Today I'm doing something very exciting. I'm going to put some airbags on my truck, and I've been looking forward to it for a few months. And if you want to find out what brand they are, stick around because they're probably not what you're thinking they are. So I've been looking at airbags for a little while. I've been looking at the Firestone airbags and the Airlift airbags, which are the two most popular. And I just didn't quite want to spend that much money on them. I would really love to have the full airbags with a tank and the air compressor built in and all that. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go with the manual setup here. So what I purchased is some airbags made by TORQUE. And they're 5,000 pound capacity airbags. So they look like they're pretty heavy duty. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little quick unboxing. Let's just check them out. I'm going to put them on the truck, and then we're actually going camping this weekend, so I'll get to try them out. And after I've done all that, I'll get back to you, let you know how they are. Just thought I'd give you a quick update and review of our 2022 Ford F350 with the 7.3 gas motor in it. We've been very happy with it. We bought it brand new in 2023, so it is a late model 2022. I've been very happy with it. It's got tons of power. I mean, without the camper on it, this truck will fly. It's fast, and it does have 373 gears in it. But you know, I'm not really a fast driver, but this truck, it'll get up and go. So with hauling the camper around, it really has no problem hauling the camper around. I have not been over a mountain pass to really experience that. I'm sure it would do the job, but would not be like a diesel. But honestly, I don't miss the diesel right now. I'm very happy with this 7.3 gas motor in this thing. Tons of power. The truck rides smooth. I mean, it is a dually, and it still rides smooth. And it handles the truck camper very well, and it's a heavy truck camper. And I would highly recommend anybody that's looking to get a truck camper and put it on their truck, if you're looking for a gas motor, look at this 7.3 from Ford. And this is my first Ford truck, so you know, it's all new to me as far as the Ford thing goes, but I'm very happy with it. So, and yes, I am well aware of the lifter delamination problem on these 7.3 motors from Ford. I'm not too worried about it. You know, Ram's had the same issues. GM has had that issue. Apparently it's a very small percentage of the 7.3s from Ford that are having that. I heard about it before I even bought this truck. I wasn't too concerned about it, and from what I heard, from my understanding is, I don't know if this is correct or not, so do your own homework, but I heard that Ford had already addressed this on the 22 and newer model trucks with the 7.3. So it was the first couple of years are seeing mainly the problem. So, and if it does happen, it's typically within the warranty period. So I'm not too concerned about it. You know, so far the motor's been good. Of course, it's basically brand new, but you know, it's got a lot of power, so I'm thrilled with it. I'm not going to worry about that lifter problem. If it happens, it happens. We'll address it then. I don't have any information as far as gas mileage goes. I haven't really calculated that much. I only have about 1,200 miles on this so far. So brand new when I first got it, I got about 14 miles to the gallon coming home on the highway. That was the best I did, but I haven't really figured it out hauling the camper. So, but you know, this truck it's great. So very happy with it. Not missing the diesel yet, but we'll see how it goes. And just want to give you a quick little review on that. Let's get back to the airbags. So here's what I got. They are made by TORQUE, as you can see, heavy duty air springs for 5,000 pound capacity. And I guess, I don't know if they're new, but I've just recently started seeing them. And the price on them was really good. It was it was $300. Got it on Amazon. I'll put a link below for that if you're interested. And I did actually see them in person. Let me go ahead and get the knife here and start cutting this thing open. I saw them, if anybody watching this saw my video on Mid-America's Truck Show with the big heavy duty trucks. when I was walking around looking at the vendors, this company Torque was actually there, and Torque also makes airbags for Freightliner and all the big, Mack and all the big trucks. So I actually had a chance to look at them, and I was very impressed at how heavy duty they looked. They were really thick rubber on them, and I believe he said they were actually like 25% heavier duty than others. So as you can hear, it is here. I mean, because I've felt some other airbags before, the Firestones and all, but they feel really nice. But who knows until you actually pump them up and get to use them. But it comes with all the brackets and the lines and everything you need to mount it on this specific truck. They make them for a lot of the different brands and vehicles. So I'm gonna put them on, try them out. The funny thing about this was, when I was looking at them, the brackets and the hardware to mount these things are looked exactly the same as the Firestone airbag mounts. So I figured, well, if the mounts looked identical. I compared them back and forth looking at them, and they looked identical between the mounting system. The airlift mounts are completely different, but the Firestone mounts and the mounts on these Torques look exactly the same. So I don't know if it's a direct ripoff or what. So I figure, well, if they work for Firestone, at least that design anyhow, they ought to work. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work putting these on. Also comes with some paperwork, and I guess it's the instructions in there and a little warning. The mounting brackets are all wrapped up nicely, air lines, and the hardware. So hopefully it won't be too hard to put on. These airbags are 5,000 pound capacity with 100 PSI for the bags. However, online on the Amazon setup, it has basically, I guess it's probably, a burst pressure, pop pressure, when it'll pop of actually 500 PSI. But the working load capacity for these is 100 PSI. So that ought to be plenty. My camper weighs more than 5,000 pounds. However, still have all the suspension, built into the truck. And I'm just want to help level it out, maybe an inch and a half. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if they work. So if you've watched my videos long enough, you know that I like to weigh things, find out what they weigh. So I got everything in the box here. Got it on the scale. It is about 32, 33 pounds, the box, all the parts and everything. I gotta say, everything is nicely wrapped. Look at that. Once you unwrap the whole thing, each individual bracket is wrapped up. I've done a nice job. Pretty impressed. I'm gonna go ahead and take all this plastic off and lay them out and make sure I got everything. All the brackets seem really nice. They feel like they're about 1/4 inch thick. And look at there, they're all like nicely engraved with the part number on each piece. Each and every piece has the engraving with the part number on it. And the brackets seem like they're very nice and heavy duty. Pretty cool, looking good so far. We'll see how it goes. All right, well, I got my airbags installed. Let me climb under here before I put my spare tire back in. And definitely need to take the spare tire out in order to get to the install on this. So there it is, there's the driver's side. And the passenger side over here. There you go. So that turned out real nice. So far I got some air in them. They're just, I'm just kind of testing it out right now. Sprayed it with soap and water and everything was good. And got the heat shield on this side, as you can see, for the exhaust. And then actually up here, above here where I ran the line, I put some heat tape for exhaust up there just to help protect the airline up there as well. But there you go, there the bags are in. Look good, hopefully they'll work well. Let me show you where I put the fittings for the air fittings. I knew that when I was going to install the air fittings, I did not want them on the bumper, which is pretty typical to put them down in here somewhere or to put them on the hitch. But if I'm gonna have the camper on the truck, and I did not want to have to crawl underneath the camper to get to the air fittings. So what I did was I put them in here with my fuel tank cap, and I put them down there on the side. So just right there on the side. I was gonna originally put them, I was thinking I'd put them up here, but then it'd be a little harder to get to than just to grab it like that, plus to put air on it. It's a little bit easier there, just right on the side. So that worked well, nice and clean, and I don't have to crawl underneath the camper or anything when I want to get to it. Here's a little factoid for you. I just had this propane tank filled yesterday. It's a 30-pound tank. Let's find out what it weighs. It weighs 50 pounds. Look at that. Dead on. Today's Wednesday, and we went camping last weekend. We didn't go that far, but I did get a chance to drive the truck around with the camper on it, with the airbags on it. And the camper has now been sitting on the truck for about a week with air in the bags. And over the weekend, it drove great. It felt fine, really. The airbags did lift the truck up about an inch, so that helped. And right now, the camper is actually sitting very level on the back of the truck. However, after checking it out, I just crawled underneath. I did notice that there was a problem, and I'm not sure how I'm going to fix it. I have an idea, but let me go crawl underneath the truck and show you what's going on with these airbags. Okay, I am underneath the passenger side, and there you can see the airbag actually looks a little bit crooked, and so that's not looking too good right there. It looks to me like, see that bolt right here was originally over here towards this side bracket, and when it was over there, that means the base of the airbag was over and it was more in line straight up and down. Now it's like at an angle, which is why the airbag's kind of looking crooked and not fitting too well. So I'm underneath the driver's side rear airbag, and as you can see, it's actually slid over towards the outside, just like the passenger side airbag did as well. So they both had the same problem. Other than that, they work great, but that is a problem. So according to my instructions, I assembled this bracket exactly how it's supposed to go. This is the part that sits on top of the axle like that. And I don't know if you can see the little right angle where it turns up on this bracket. It says to bolt it upwards, but actually I was watching the Firestone 7500 airbag installation on e-trailer, which has the same style brackets and setups, and they actually do theirs downward. And so that way you can use this bolt, which are also in the set. It'll go recessed like that, but this piece will be upside down. In the instructions, it shows a bolt with a head on it. And so basically I just need to reverse this whole bracket here, and then this nut will actually be on top, which will be underneath this, so that would also keep it from sliding as well. So I'm going to go ahead and reverse all this. I'm going to do it on both sides. It's a lot of work. Take them all back off, put them all back on again, but that's what I'm going to do, and I'll let you know if it works. I've got everything reversed, so now that the bolt is going up through the top, and you can see the angle is going down, and then the bolt to the airbag goes up through there, and the spacer goes on top, and then that nut could also help keep it from sliding. So gonna put it back in, and hopefully it bolts back up. There it is. I got them both flipped around. Can't really tell much different. They look about the same, but the bracket is upside down, so the bag bolts on with a different bolt, and that spacer is going to be kept from moving by the nut that's sticking up through the bottom bracket as well. So hopefully that will hold. and work? We'll find out. Well, there you have it. You saw what I did. I flipped the brackets over and put the airbags back together, and I took the truck and camper out for about a 25-30 mile drive, and went on some highway, some back roads, crossed over some railroad tracks, and so far they're looking good. You know, I'm happy with the performance of them as far as the ride quality. The truck rides great with them. You know, only time's going to tell if they, you know, perform after I get, you know, several thousand miles on them. But the bags themselves from Torque, I'll put a link down below if you're interested in these airbags. No affiliation there, but I got them on Amazon for $300. So, you know, it's a good price for a set of airbags. You know, if it's something you're looking for, you might want to check them out. The only problem I had, as you saw, was basically the instructions. I followed the instructions the first time around, and you saw what happened. So hopefully now that I have flipped the brackets around, that the airbags will stay in place. Basically, I followed the video for E-Trailer's Firestone 7,500 pound airbags, and because they're basically the same brackets. So I did it the way they did it, and hopefully it'll work. So we'll find out. Appreciate you watching, and hope you enjoy the video, and maybe it'll be helpful for you. And we'll see you next time on Runaway Roses. Bye-bye.